But I've been doing that for the past 2 years because I got this idea, I think, in the end of 2022. And so, yeah, I want to finally act on it. But I'm also like nervous and I'm scared. I think I'm overthinking the situation a bit. But I think it's time, hey? I think it is time to start making moves and start stepping out in faith. So yeah, later on today I will be making the official announcement on the ministry page as well as my personal pages. And I'm hoping for the best. Yes, we're hoping for the best. So everything is not adding up, but like I'm super confident, y'all. I trust God. Like it's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. But yeah, we'll be going home soon after the conference. So I'm hoping that I can get some work done because our Wi-Fi is finally up. I can finally get some work done. At least if I can get like my notes ready, then I can just prep from the notes. That would be great. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And I'll probably get back to you guys once I can actually work, and I can show you guys that I'm finally online, I'm working, and I'll be good. So yeah, pray for this event, y'all. I know it's already after the event, but like, pray for me. Pray for me. I know that God is with me. I know that God is helping me, so I think I'll be good. Yeah, along with your prayers. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but God does. And by including Him in your planning, by seeking Him first in your planning, you are building your path to success. Because again, when I refer to John 15, apart from God, we can do nothing. No plan is complete without God in it. A plan that does not have God in it is a plan that is set for doom and disaster. A plan that did not start with God is a plan that is set for doom and disaster. Proverbs 3 verse 5 to 6. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. The NLT version says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Do not depend on your own understanding. Do not depend on your own knowledge. Again, you don't know what will happen tomorrow, let alone at the end of the year. How can you depend on what you know when you don't know anything? Do not depend on your own understanding, but seek His will. Seek His face. Seek His word. Seek His plan. And He will show you which path to take. Like I said, when you make plans with God, when you include God in your planning, you are building your path to success. In Luke 6, verse 12 to 13, around this chapter you read about when Jesus chooses His apostles. The verses read, "After leaving the synagogue, Jesus went into the high hills to spend the whole night in prayer to God. At daybreak, He called together all of His followers and selected 12 from among them, and He appointed them to be His apostles." Jesus spent the whole night talking to God, seeking His face and His guidance. And it was in seeking God's face that He was able to know who to pick to be His 12 apostles. Jesus spent the whole night seeking God's face, talking to God, just so He can pick the people who would be closest to Him. How much more do we need to seek God's face for what we are to do about our lives? And you continue to read in the Bible that anytime Jesus would perform a miracle, anytime He would go to teach, it was always after He spent time with God. He had gone to God for guidance and for leading for what He was about to do. You read in some verses where it tells you that Jesus woke up early in the morning to go to a desolate place and pray. And then when He came down, He started His day. He started preaching. He started doing miracles. At the end of the day, He would go back to the mountain to go pray to God again. This is an example. Jesus didn't want to do anything outside of God's will or plan. Understand that in this scenario, He was man too. As much as He is Jesus, the Son of God, but He was man, flesh like me and you. And He needed to seek God's face for everything that He did. That's why you'll read how they would say Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. This was a habit for Jesus, because He understood that He cannot take a step without God. But here we are. We want to tell God what we want. We want to tell God what to do for us, instead of seeking what He wills for us as our Creator. I'll come back to Jeremiah 18. Like the clay in the potter's hand, that's what we are in God's hands. He's molding us. He's shaping the paths that we are to walk on, because He is the one who's in control, not us. We don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't know what this year will hold for us. We need God in everything that we do. Where else would Jesus have gotten all the knowledge and skill for what He was going to do when people started to gather around Him? It was only in God's presence. It was only by seeking God's plan and God's will for why He was here, for the time that He was here. Everything was planned out for Him. And He had to make sure that He would walk on that path. He had to make sure that He was not going to be led astray. He was not going to stray away from it. But by constantly seeking God's face, He was constantly seeking His guidance. because that's what we need. We need his guidance every single day with every step that we take. With every decision that we make. We cannot make it by ourselves. We need God to help us in making that decision. We cannot do this life. We cannot do anything without God, without remaining in the vine. Before committing ourselves to anything, whether it's buying a car, buying a house, getting into a relationship, trying to figure out what to study at school, before committing yourself to anything, seek his will first, and he will lead you on the paths that you are supposed to take. John 15, apart from me, you can do nothing. Outside of the vine, a branch cannot produce fruit. Outside of God, you cannot produce fruit. And as much as we can have plans for our lives, please understand that we are part of a bigger plan. We are part of God's plan. And God's plan should be the one that guides our plan. What we decide to do or what we pray to God to do needs to come from him first. That's why we need to seek him first. You cannot make a move without God.